Hey, this is Robert at Guzzi Fabrication. Hit that like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, leave a comment. We are back on the 63 Impala SS Convertible restoration. We're going to get the body mated. Well, first we're going to get it off the frame fixture, then get it mated back onto the frame. Now I've made these little lifting point brackets. Have to be real careful about how you handle this body, whether you're using a lift or a gantry like I am. Still got to pay attention. Don't want to twist that body up. Real sensitive on the convertibles. Okay, what we're doing right now is we are going to get this thing off of the frame fixture that it's been on. We've done a lot of metal work on this car. Probably twice as much as the average car. But we're at the end of that. We have a little bit more to go with the body lines to door to quarter panel, but we'll need to get this on the frame in order to do that. And then all of the metal work will be finished. Get this thing, knock out any body work, then get this thing into paint. We're going to go back with the original red. Okay, taking loose all of the supports on the frame fixture. That thing out of the way. And finally, off of the frame fixture. Now you'll notice in the back I have it supported with welder's jacks. Now these are adjustable jacks, hold a lot of weight, and they will adjust up to about 4 feet. Man can't live without those. Now the frame has already been powder coated. It's been repaired. We had to do some frame work on it. It's been repaired, powder coated. Suspension is all finished out. So we want to protect that. And what I'm going to do is wrap this thing up in plastic. Because what's going to happen, we're getting it back onto we're getting the body back onto the frame. We're going to get that thing mounted. Make sure it's not going to twist or do anything stupid. And then we have a little bit of metal work to address. Then we're going to get the front sheet metal on. And then we're going to get this thing back off onto a rotisserie because we're going to have to caulk and seal the complete bottom side. And then we are going to paint the bottom. And we're going to be doing body work in between all of that. We don't want to get any overspray or damage what we've already done. And this plastic will protect it from all of that. Okay, installing the body mount bushings. And there it is, wrapped up. Yeah, why do a bunch of work and then trash it out by being careless? Don't like that. Okay, here she goes. Getting it positioned into place. A little foot action there. Here we go. It's always a fun time when we're mating the bodies back to the frames. So we're at least halfway done with this restoration. It's been a long road. Let me tell you, we've run into so many obstacles on this build, and we're not done yet because I have another one coming up here in a few seconds for you. Yeah, and most of it, well, all of it goes back to the quality of parts. I get a lot of questions all the time. Hey, what's the best parts to use? Hey, I have no idea because they they are all not very good quality these days. So it's pretty much 50-50. Now I get the majority of my parts from Classic Industries. They do pretty good job. Now I have set the frame with the body on jack stands, and we want to level that thing out. Why? Just because. Okay, here are the body mount bushing kit. Well, let me tell you something they don't provide. That the rear mount bolts are different. And here they are. I'll give you the measurements. Save you from having to figure all that out by yourself. The rest of the bolts are 7/16, but these are 3/8 by 24, making them a fine thread by 3-inch. And get graded bolts. Don't cheap out. Okay, we're gonna get that front mount going. Okay, here's the other issue. Oh man, it's this car, I tell you. What the friggle. Here we go. Okay, so what is missing? Yeah, that's right. There's no captured nut in the space where it should be. Not only that one, there aren't any captured nuts where they're supposed to be. Now you can see that's a little bit off, but that's not the issue. There's no captured nut, and it's going to be kind of hard to install the body mount bolt and tighten it up without the captured nut. So here's the fix. Not a big deal, just another big sigh of disappointment on parts. Now this is the first time I've run into this on a floor pan. So what we've done, we've made a pilot hole. Just going to make this quick and easy. Well, those two words. Let me retract that. Yeah, we're just going to get it done. Quick and easy has nothing to do with anything on the restoration or the metal work. Okay, so now we have our holes. We have access. We can get our nut through there. Well, now we have to do something with that hole. So this was a 1.25 inch hole that I installed into the floor pan so I could get access to the nut on the body mount bolt. And we just ordered some body plugs. And we'll go ahead when it's time, everything's done, get these installed, but we'll go ahead and seal those up also with some caulking. And we don't want to make it permanent. That's why we're not welding anything over. For the next guy who has to take apart the body for whatever reason, years down the road. Okay, now for all the naysayers who said, oh, you have to build this big elaborate cage contraption in this. Okay, well, let's see. Let's get this thing cut off. Now, I only had these 2 bars that I installed, and in a previous video, I showed you when I was building those, the ends, they are adjustable so I could push and pull. Now, all of the bolts are in the body. And here's a good sign. You see how the bar just fell down? Now this goes with any metal type work. Whenever you're cutting things apart, one thing you always want to pay attention to is that part under pressure. Now if parts are under pressure, that bar just fell straight down, and so will this one. Now if it went spoing or jumped or something like that, well, that's not a good sign. You want to figure out why. And that would mean it's under pressure. Things under pressure, yeah, it shouldn't be under pressure. We'll get those out of the way. Okay, now these are new doors, but I'm reusing the original hardware, the door latch assembly. Trust me, they sell new door latches, but do not buy them. They are complete junk. You will you will not be happy if you buy a replacement door latch mechanism. Yeah, you can see we have a little issue just shoehorning that thing in there. But we will maneuver it and get it in. Not a big fan of replacement parts. Actually, I'm changing the MO, the way I do things on restorations here forward, because I've run into so many issues on low quality parts. And let me tell you, unfortunately, parts aren't going to get any better. So, but no worries, I can accommodate for that. We're going to build some really nice cars, do some really high-end metal work. Hey, and this is part 20. If you haven't followed along, or this is your first video, go back through my playlist. This is part 20, like I said, of this build, but I've got about 170 something videos covering everything: automotive, welding, you name it. Okay, so let's see if we actually needed that big elaborate cage in there to keep everything straight. Get a final adjustment on the door latch. Guess not. Okay, get ready for part 21. We're going to knock out a few issues. Hey, as always, thank you for watching.